Listen, welcome back to the channel. This is Man United Central. Listen, Ineos Revolution. Let's talk about Ineos Revolution, right? It is happening, guys. Today, we got that. Here we go from the one and only Fabrizio Romano talking about, guys, we've been waiting for him. He's finally here. Someone who can help us in this huge issue that we've always had when it comes to signings, right? And when who that is, I'm sure you all know. Well, Dan Ashworth signs as new Manchester United sporting director from Newcastle. Newcastle and Manchester United, that's the official statement, have reached an agreement for an immediate release of Dan Ashworth. The terms of this agreement remain confidential between the clubs, right? Honestly, so long as we didn't pay, and I'm sure for a fact that Ineos didn't pay 20 million, but we know that they paid some figure, maybe like close to 10 million, maybe, because what happened is the deal. It looks like it happened before the 30th, by the 30th, because by them making this deal, it kind of helped Newcastle as well as far as the FFP situation. So they kind of structured it in a way that, listen, Newcastle, here's the money, some of it, the 10 or 8, you're not going to get the 20, give us this guy, and then you guys get the money to help you in the FFP situation, because Newcastle also have a lot of this, almost the same, close to the same issue as Everton had. FFP is kind of binding them on how much they can spend, so they needed to kind of bring in some money. And this money that came in, well, it helped them. And then we were able to get our guy to complete, the Sir Jim and Ineos, the trifecta, fourfecta, or something like that, because he was kind of the final piece, right? But so we have Dan Ashworth on board. Omar Barada is supposed to start here soon, maybe next week, right? And then Jason Wilcox is on board already, working. And with Dan Ashworth coming on board, he starts immediately. So basically, July 1st, he is on board, because you know what? We were still working some deals here and there, right? We're working on these deals. We needed someone like him to come on board, right? So they can be on basically making sure that we're not messing up, we're making the right decisions. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, Dan Ashworth, even though he was gardening his house, they were saying that maybe he was kind of working underground, at the back end, but making sure that he doesn't get caught. So I'm sure he's apprised of all these deals that we're working on, like the LIGT, Brunthwaite, Xerxes, signing, bringing in Van Nistelrooy, Hake, all the deals. I'm sure he's up to date with that. So today, most likely when he checked into Carrington, he got in. I don't know. I can imagine he got into his office. Okay, where are we? Let's get this job done. All right, dude. I am happy, man. I'm happy because, hey, what's up, Punky Jr.? Yes, I am boosted because you know what? Ineos is putting that structure that we were crying for, right? Man United never had any structure. Now we have people to, guide us properly. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Smash a like as you're coming in, man. If you're new here, I'm your boy Luther. This is Man United Central. Listen, I'm having a good day. I'm hoping you guys are having a good day as well, because we got Dan Ashworth on board. But not only that, guys, according to Florian Plettenberg, it is understood that another deal was finalized. I don't know if it's today. This is Christopher Vivell, okay? Christopher Vivell, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. He's set to join Manchester United with immediate effect as well, right? As a director of recruitment. Guys, we are having proper people to handle our business, right? Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate you guys if you're new here, right? So basically, this guy Vivell, let's see. He's 37 years old, very young, former technical director from Chelsea, right? With many options, but he decided he had many options to where he wanted to go. But again, I'm sure Ineos, Sir Jim came on board and said, listen, man, we have a project here. We're going to take Man United back to the top. It may take a couple of years, but we need you. And this kid, the gentleman, Christopher Vivell, said, you know what, I want to join that revolution. So he has agreed to join Man United to help us, spearhead our recruitment. And we in the past we had a whole bunch of issues when it comes to recruitment, right? Because we picked the wrong players, we ended up overpaying, and that kind of situation. And this guy, apparently, according to reports, Vivell, if I'm pronouncing right, he's credited with recruiting. I see here Erling Haaland, Benjamin Sesko, Dominic Szoboszlai, Karim Adeyemi, Amadou Haidara, Peterson Daka. So he has that the knack of identifying these talents, right? So he's credited in some of those names. So maybe he's going to be able to find these gems that we know we need, because when we don't have money to say that, okay, we're going to come in there and splash a whole bunch of money, right? Because the way I see it, the way we're rolling, according to reports, we may be out of the deal with Bruntwaite, because what is happening is Everton, they were able to offload some players. So by them being able to offload some players, they got some money in. Now they're continuing, playing hardball, continue wanting us to pay what 70 million or some crazy number like that. So we may be out of that deal. That's why we are all now going full steam ahead on this LIGT deal, right? So I'm boosted that our structure is coming together. I'm boosted that Dan Ashworth comes in right at the stroke of the perfect time to be able to steer us, because whatever money, imagine this, whatever money we paid Newcastle, if it's 8, I know it's under 10, mate, so whatever money we paid him, we may end up saving a whole bunch of money in the back end by signing the right players, okay, in paying them the right fee, and not overpaying. And one thing about with Dan Ashworth and his track record, he also has that knack of identifying talents and not overpaying, right? So hopefully we see that changing, right? We don't want to overpay for any player. We want them to come, make sure that, listen, they want to play for Man United, right? They want to play for us, and we need, I like the profile that we're going with, under 25, because all the players that have been linked so far, it looks like it's under 25. Like the LIGT is under 25, Xerxes, all the players that are coming in, they are, young, right? And if they're young, it means that, they're going to have that hunger, not necessarily, we don't want some of the players coming on board. What's up, everybody? Make sure to smash a like as you're coming in, we want players that come in that are hungry, right? And I'm thinking a player like Xerxes coming on board, again, he's young, he looks to put his name out there. And listen, there's no other bigger spotlight than being a striker at Man United. So hopefully we can complete that deal. Now we have the main decision makers, Omar Barada, who's going to start here soon, Dan Ashworth coming in, everybody's there. That way all the decisions that are made, it cannot fall on, say, oh, Ten Hag, it was you were the one who wanted the LIGT, right? So listen, what I'm saying is this, we are rolling correctly now, right? We are actually a proper team now, because for years, man, ever since Sir Alex left, we were just, doing things, without any structure, any plan, just chucking money at it, thinking like, oh, it's going to work out. We want to get to the next level, want to get that, pay Di Maria crazy money, pay Alexis Sanchez all this money, thinking like, oh, once they come to Man United, they're going to blow up. No, some of them, a lot of them actually failed, and I'm glad that Ineos, they're moving away from that structure of chucking money at things. We want these young players to come in, pay them, decent amount of money, maybe less than 170 K a week. You don't want to overpay them. That way they continue being hungry, right? That way they continue want to produce for us, because that's what we want. We want players, whenever they put on that shirt, man, every day when we watch them, like that Saturday or Sunday or Thursday, on the Europa, we want them to leave everything on that field. Because what we saw last season, that was a disgrace. We saw players that didn't want to be bothered. We saw players that they didn't want to give it their all. They still felt like, I can come in here and just do the bare minimum and still, you know what, continue getting my paycheck. We don't want to. We want players that come on board saying, you know what, I'm privileged to be able to represent this team each and every time on the field. Just like one player that, all these new players coming on board, they should see is they should look at a player like Alessandro Martinez, man. He plays with that passion. Like, listen, this is my team. I'm going to leave everything on the field, right? So that's what we want. We want those kind of players, and the team that is coming on board, the Dan Ashworth, Barada, and all of them, they have that experience of finding those gems, right? Something that we were lacking. And this new recruitment director coming on board also, he has that experience as well. So, it's gonna be interesting to see the signings that we bring on board. And I have a feeling that the first one may end up being the LIGT coming on board. Yes, the LIGT is one of those that have been identified as a player that obviously Ten Hag loves and knows very well, right? He played under Ten Hag. So him coming on board and having Onana and Lisandro Martinez, they kind of know each other from the days at Ajax. So there's already that chemistry going on. So this is good. Now, what is crazy though, which I don't like from Bayern, because Bayern know that we definitely want this player. Bayern, they're saying, this is according to Florian Plettenberg, he's saying that FC Bayern have now set a price for Matthias de Ligt and are demanding at least 50 million euros plus bonus and comes to payments. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Smash a like. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe, man. I appreciate you being here. So with the LIGT, we see that Bayern, they're asking for 50 million. Now, according to Florian Plettenberg, no official offer has been made as of yet, right? Let's see what else is saying on this article here. It says, so no official offer yet, but that 50 million though, guys, do we want to pay 50 million for the LIGT though? I don't know. I have a feeling that's a lot. It's a lot because if you pay 50 million and then he comes on board, how much are you going to pay him weekly, right? Because one thing that we don't want is we don't want him to come and we end up paying him like 250K a week. That would be ridiculous, right? Now, I was watching, there was another channel I was watching, and I forgot the name, but basically there was this, a Swedish Rumble. He's very famous on Twitter when it comes to finances and when it comes to these teams and what they do and stuff like that. So according to Swedish Rumble, he said, look, Man United could do something like this. Say, hey, Bayern, we're going to give you 40, right? And then some of that money that we give you, you're gonna pay, because the LIGT still has a contract. I think he has 2 years on his contract or something like that. So Man United can pay that 40, for example, right? Pay the 40, and then maybe they can take 10 from that to pay off the LIGT's salary, right? Remaining contract salary, like whatever. Pay him. That way, when it comes to United, we don't have to pay him the 250, which is getting paid now at Bayern. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like we pay Bayern the money they want, is 45, whatever, and we say, look, the deal is going to be like this. Some of that, take that 10 from there, pay him. That way, he'll be willing to leave to come to Man United, because we are not in any position to pay a player like him 200K a week, right? Maximum I would pay him maybe 170, 180K a week, because again, we're trying to bring that salary cap down. That is why we got rid of players, or we're going to get rid of players like Casemiro, who are getting paid crazy amount. We already let go of Varane, which is, man, Varane was amazing, man. But again, he was getting paid too much. We got to get rid of him. Now, at the end of the day, I think, if anything, the highest paid to me should be Bruno. But again, with the likes of Rashford, who we already gave him crazy amount of money already, like 300K, which is a disgrace. Hopefully, next season he will kind of prove that, AK, it's my turn to repay the fans, because this season Rashford was pretty crap. So we'll see. But again, we don't want to overpay. So Matthias de Ligt coming on board, I like it. Yes, it's kind of risky because with him, he has a little bit of injury. He's not injury prone, but he had a few injuries. But it's not something that kind of worries me. Like, oh, it could be another Mason Mount situation where he comes on board and then he's not able to start, or he just sits and hangs out in the medical bay where we need him to be on the field, right? So hopefully that is not the case, and I'm sure Man United and the team, the recruitment team that is on board, they've kind of learned from their mistakes, right? They've kind of learned because they know that, look, we need coverage. So Lisandro Martinez, hopefully he gets through the Copa America unscathed. So far he has been playing pretty good, which is I love seeing. Hopefully he comes out unscathed. That way after the Copa he goes rests and then comes back recharged, you know. So we want Lisandro Martinez not to be injured, but we will need coverage. So we will need a left-footed center back, right? Because that way, if you have that, Ten Hag, you know, he has told us in the past that, you know, not us, the fans and everybody that follows Man United, that he likes in the center back, left center back, to have a left-footed center back. That is why we were going for a player like Branthwaite. Branthwaite, he's actually both. He can play with both feet, right, left and right. Like he's cool left center back or right center back, right. So we may need to bring in a player like that. But for sure, the Ligt coming on board, he's definitely a replacement. Will be a replacement for like Varane because he's right-footed. But again, he can play the way Ten Hag likes to play. You know, advancing the ball. You know, playing at the edge of the box, that kind of situation, right? So he fits the bill. Okay, so we'll see if you know what transpired. But I know I can foresee this in the next, I would say, a couple of days here. We're gonna be getting, you know, here we goes from Fabrizio saying, okay, you know, this deal is done. Let's go to the next deal. Because like today, man, nobody expected us to get that. Here we go for Dan Ashworth, right? Because, you know, I was actually thinking about it. I was a couple of days ago. I was like, okay, where are we with this Dan Ashworth situation, right? Because we know that we need him. If we were ever going to progress, get to that next level, we needed him. So, hey, not knowing in the back end, Sir Jim Ineos, they came up with a deal and say, all right, man, come on board. Start tomorrow. What? I loved it. So this is all good stuff. And listen, United, we're going to get there, man. We're going to get there. It's going to be tough, but we're going to get there because now I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, slowly but surely. Because now you know you have the proper people on board, you know, making the right decision, right? Not just based on, they're not like money hungry, saying everything, you know, it has to be led with money. You know, these people, they're football people. They know football in and out. You know, they know all the connections when it comes to, you know, which players are available around the world and all this stuff. Imagine, Dan Ashworth coming on board, right? I'm sure he has a portfolio of all these young talents. I wonder if he's allowed to tap into that, or is it that it could be that portfolio was already shown to Newcastle, so maybe he cannot tap into any of them for maybe a year. I hope not, man, because Dan Ashworth, you know, even Wilcox, Barada, all of them, I'm sure they tapped in. They know where some of these talents are, right? And we hope they can bring in some of those to Man United. That way, you know, we can benefit. You know, we can field in a team that is young, hungry, you know, wanting to impress, you know, wanting to keep us out of our seats whenever they play. Because you know what, they're gonna give their all whenever they put on that shirt for Man United. So this is really good stuff, guys. I'm boosted that you know, we're seeing from the day one today, which is July 1st, which is the beginning of the fiscal year when it comes to football. This is very important today. That's when June 30, it was the end of the football year, and then this is a new year, so we can make these new moves without worrying so much about the FFP situation, because we have time to make up in case, you know, we need to offload. We need to make other moves. That way we don't get in trouble with FFP, because we know, we've seen FFP does have teeth. Everton, they did get point deductions. So, in Nottingham Forest. So people know, like, hey, this is no joke. We gotta, if we're gonna bring in these new players, we have to make sure we can offload, or we qualify for these major competitions, because when you do, money comes in. Because same thing as I was watching Sir Jim on his last interview, I think he said, by us qualifying for Europa, it brought in an additional money that can be used in recruitment and all this stuff. But if we didn't qualify for Europa, then we could have been, scraping the barrel trying to get the money to, make all these moves, right? So all these things that are happening, they're all, I think Ineos has this master plan. I'm sure they've looked at everything. They'll be like, okay, we need to bring in these people, and then Ten Hag gets to get his backroom stuff with the Van Nistelrooy hopefully coming in here soon. When we get here, we go for him and Hake. So Ten Hag has his team. Slowly we're gonna build to get to that level, right? So guys, listen, I just wanted to jump in real quick to give you a quick update and to appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure to smash a like. Make sure to hit the subscribe if you're new. I am your boy Luther. Listen, I'm gonna talk to you in the next one very soon. And guys, as news breaks, I'll jump in here to say what's up. All right, peace out.